Hello, Brenda. Yeah, in case anybody was asking, wondering where I was, I finally got the pupper dog in from out in the backyard, and he was just drenched and muddy, and so the animal shelter over in Ontario, Canada, said just bring him back, and I did. So that's where I've been. The bridge traffic is terrible. Um, I spent probably 45 minutes to an hour on the bridge. Yeah, we're a little bit late, but better late than never, right? That's as some people would say. So anyway, good afternoon, 204. The It was quite a trip back across over to Canada to take my little guy back there. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Sky-Fi, good evening to you too, my friend. We're a little bit late, but hey, it is what it is. Hey, Brenda, what was the name of the dog I just took back? Can't remember. My memory's gone terrible. Buffer, right? Buffer. Yep. Now my phone won't charge. There it is. Okay, now it's charging. Anyway, yeah, Buffer went back today. He was glad to see all of them over there. He'd only been gone for a day. So it was nice. It was a nice homecoming for him. Well, I'm feeling kind of down. It just brings to mind that I should have hung on to Jack. I didn't give him a chance because he did, as you know, I showed pictures of him. He was comfortable in the house and everything, and he just got a little rambunctious, but not all that rambunctious. It's just my expectations were higher than it should have been, and it was my fault. He should have never gone back to the center. But maybe we can rectify that. Well, I'm going to work on that. So, what's going on with everybody? Hey, Tanya. When you talk to your daughter, can you have her check and see if Jack is available yet?
I could try.
Okay, because she should be able to call and they should be able to tell her if he's available or not.
Right. Well, I was the one that called last time.
Well, she should call because they might have your phone number pegged as my address.
They don't know that yet because they haven't asked my address.
Okay, all right.
Are you home already?
Yeah, I'm back. I spent an hour on the bridge.
Damn. I'm about to be back home.
Okay,
I'm coming down Stone right now.
okay. Well, I'm just getting online now. But I'd like to get Jack back. That's my wish.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. All right, so The problem is that any dog you get now is it's like Brenda says, you got to give it some time. Because I only had the other dog, what was it? Couple of weeks. And you can't train a dog or get used to a dog or have a dog in your life when you don't. Oh, I need to link up. Okay. Um, do
So
I
what
need to do
happened
I
to the
need
white?
to do I need the key or what? You logged in, didn't you, Joe?
I just took old link.
Okay. Because 204 says you put your link up. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I had to put the link up. Okay.
Oh, I've got backgrounds.
So how did you do today? What did you do?
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about why you don't have that other dog now.
He went back
Why?
because he wouldn't come into the house. He just was out there lounging in the rain and the snow and the ice and the mud and the dirt. And so when I called and talked to them over there, says, "Well, it sounds like it's not a good match. Just bring him back." So I took him back.
Okay, because the bottom line is when you went out there earlier this morning, you went out there with the leash trying to get him,
Yeah,
and he's been skittish because somebody beat him. A male
yeah,
beat him. So when you
yeah,
went out there with the leash, he's thinking he's going to get beat with a belt. I'm
yeah,
guaranteeing you.
yeah. Well,
So,
see,
but
here's
when
the
you
other
put the, but
here's the other thing that he was abused. And when I walked him back into the sergeant animal control, he was so excited to see everybody. He went up and gave everybody hugs and everything else. And, it
well,
was like it was like he was home.
the bottom line, he's better off then. But
Yes.
no, you don't need Jack back. You cannot handle Jack. You couldn't handle this dog, Paul. I'm telling you,
Yeah, but I could get Jack into training.
you can't get Jack back. They don't want you to have Jack. She
Oh,
put that in the chat the other day. The director said she wanted Jack back. And if you get somebody to get Jack back and they find out about it, y'all gonna both go to jail. I'm telling you.
well, if I can't have Jack, I don't mind going to jail. Hey, Mark.
It's a wrong attitude, Paul. You know, you're gonna have to just live with this right now. It's about the dogs, really. It's not about you. Because if you
They're
can't
not.
take care of the dog, it's not fair to the dog.
They're not going to let anybody else take Jack now. Not yet. For a start, you've just announced to the whole world that what you're going to do.
Yeah, you did that
And
on
you
your
know,
and she was watching
you
it the other
know
day.
that animal control are watching your YouTube channel. That's why they made a comment. So now they know what you're trying to do. So it just ain't going to happen.
Well, let's just
The
talk.
big
Let's stop talking about it.
well,
So did you
you're gonna make
did you have to shoot any pictures today? No,
No.
you were editing all night last night.
Yeah, I finished. I was flying my drone today.
Which one were you flying?
The Mavic 3. Paul, changing the subject is not gonna help things.
Well,
No, it's not.
talking about it over and over again, Joe is not going to help anything either.
It might
All,
help you,
all of that is in the past now.
but you're looking at the future to do it again.
Here comes Justin.
And you're not gonna listen to none of us.
Okay. What's up?
That's the thing. Don't make the mistake. We're trying to help you, not hurt you.
Where the hell did that go? There it is.
Well, they just let anybody in with Justin.
Oh man.
So what are you up to, Justin?
I went and got another car today.
You got a car?
Yeah, I got one of those Ford C-Maxes. It's a little hybrid,
Yeah.
5-seater hybrid.
Do you like it?
Yeah, for what I got, for the price I got for it, because it was listed at 11,000, but then the government gave a $3,000 EV credit towards it.
Uh-huh.
Knocked off $3,000, and then I was able to talk them down another 2 and got it for 6. So.
Good for you. What, 2025?
No, it's not new. It's a 2016, but it's only got
Good.
like 60,000 miles on it. So
Okay. Well, good for you. You
it gets
needed
really-
another car anyway, didn't you?
yeah, and it gets really good gas mileage too. So
Thought
was
you don't
my-
have that one less than a year.
no, I still got it. I needed a second
Oh,
one.
you bought a second car.
Yeah,
Right.
but this one
Well,
I
that's
just paid
because
off.
his
no car
wife
payment.
uses the other car.
Oh, I just paid this one off, no car payment. So,
Okay.
but I didn't know there was a credit towards it. I was expecting to spend more, and then when I got there, he's like, "Oh yeah, we offer a $3,200 credit from the government since you're buying a hybrid." I said, "What?" I said, "All right." I said, "So that's taken off the price?" He said, "Yeah." And this was before I even told him what I was willing to spend. He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's taken off." I was like, "Oh shit." So I went from 11 down to what, 8?
Yeah.
And then
So
I said,
that's
well,
a gasoline hybrid.
yeah, it's gasoline and electric, but I can run the electric. I can run just off electric if I want.
Okay.
It gets up to, I think, like 60 or 80 miles on the electric.
So for just buzzing around town, you could just use electric and
But-
plug it in when you get it back home, right?
So check this out. They got these little tiny electric cars. I wish I remembered the name of it. Nissan Leaf, right?
Yeah.
They only wanted,
That's
and it
all
was
electric.
yeah, it was a 2017. They only wanted $2,000 for it, but this is the kicker. It only gets 60 miles of range.
Yeah, my mate had one. The newer ones have got more range, but the older ones didn't do very well.
And yeah, the newer ones he said get like 150 or 180 miles or something.
Yeah.
But they made that one specifically with that mileage to make a really cheap car. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn, only $2,000 for that thing? And they were like, yeah. He was
Yeah.
like, but it's really just for if you're putzing around town. He goes, you really can't go on any long
Yeah.
drives. But so if I would have had an extra $2,000, I would have bought it just for driving around town. Because that was a hell of a deal for I think it was a 2017, 2018. It was pretty new. Wasn't that old. And it only had like 30 or 40,000 miles on it or something like that, like 30,000. And they only wanted $2,000 for it.
Really?
Yeah, with the rebate. They had it listed for 5, but with the $3,000 rebate from the government, it was only $2,000. Honestly, if it would have had like 150-mile range, maybe 100, I probably would have got it. Just because we don't travel too much. But 60 miles was just like, that's not far at all.
It's quite weird, the Leaf as well, because there's no noise.
Yeah, really
But-
quiet.
You can press a button on the dashboard and it makes an imitation engine noise for you.
Yeah, because you can't tell when the motherfucker's on.
Yeah.
That's like my mother-in-law's, or I guess my new father-in-law. He drives a Ford Fusion hybrid, I think it is. And that thing, you turn it on and you don't hear anything when it comes on, so you can't even tell it's fucking on.
I've had a Fusion in the past.
Well,
That's
see,
the
the
one where the front passenger seat lifts up and there's a cubbyhole underneath it.
But see, this is the problem, Mark. You get into it, right, with the key and all the dash lights come on, everything comes on.
Yeah.
But then you press the
It's
start
all
button and
noise.
then nothing changes. So you're like, is the fucking thing on or not?
Yeah.
It's like everything on the dash stays the same, so you can't tell if the damn thing's on until you put it in reverse.
Until you press the button. No, press the accelerator.
Yeah. It's really, that one is really quiet.
Mm.
Yeah, because his doesn't make any, I don't know if it's something you can turn on or not, but his doesn't make any kind of like dinging noise or anything when you turn it on. It just doesn't do anything.
Mm.
Like I said, it's just like when you get in the car, all the lights and dash and everything comes on as if it's on. So you can't tell when you press the button if it's actually running or not.
Yeah.
It's a tight fit, but I told Sarah, I said, if we go somewhere in it, it's going to be tight with all five of us. I said, but it will get us to where we need to go and it won't cost us a shit ton of money. So,
Hmm. Well, when the electric runs out, the petrol cuts in and it'll also recharge the batteries at the same time, won't it?
yeah. And you can go up to 65 miles an hour on the electric before the gas motor kicks in. You can get up to 65 just using the electric.
Oh, yeah, it won't do top speed with it, will it?
No, no. Once it gets over 65, they say the gas motor kicks in.
Yeah.
But I haven't had it on the highway yet, so I haven't got to test that yet because we literally drove it from one side of town to the other, city traffic. So,
Yeah.
well, it runs really good. And I was looking at the reviews on those cars, and there's nothing but fucking just positive reviews on that car. Everybody's like, for a Ford, this was my first Ford. I really didn't like Ford before. Like, I've been going through all the comments on a lot of the videos on it and stuff and different consumer reports. Seems to be a really good car. So,
Well, Fords have an indifferent name over here because
yeah.
they were forever getting nicked because they were easy to get into.
Well,
Plus,
there's the people that don't like Ford used to call them the fix or repair daily.
Yeah. Just
yeah,
like Jeep, just empty every pocket.
Yeah.
I ain't even lying though. We had two different style Jeeps that we used at my old work, the Compass and the what was the other one? It was the Compass and the damn, I can't remember the other model, but they were horrible. They were in the shop all the fuck. I mean, you guys remember I was in the shop every other day with that fucking thing. And I wasn't the only one that was like that. It was everybody in the company was having issues with them. They were just shitty ass fucking Jeeps. Sarah was looking at a Jeep yesterday, and I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not buying one of those."
uh-huh.
Then she was looking at a Range Rover that they wanted like 13,000 for. I said, "Oh hell no." I was like, "Over here, Range Rovers are horrible. I don't know about over there, but over here, they get
They are one of the top class 4x4s over here.
like I've known a few people with Range Rovers, and they had nothing but problems with them all the time. There was always something breaking on them. I don't know."
Depends on whether it was the proper big Range Rover or whether it was the new Evoque, which is a smaller one.
I don't remember which ones they had offhand, but no, it's a small car. It's like probably a little bit bigger than a Mini Coupe 4-door, but it's not bad. It's a nice little car. It's a little 4-door.
It's not a Mini Coupe.
No, I said it's about the size of a Mini Coupe.
No, it's not called a Mini Coupe.
Well, what do
It's
you guys call
it's a Cooper.
it? Oh, we
Name
call them Mini Coupes.
No, it's a Mini Cooper. It was named after one of the racing drivers that helped design it.
Because I think you have the 4-door one and the Mini one's the 2-door one, right? They have two different styles. I've
They
seen
have two
four-door
different-
ones and
a
two-door
bigger
ones.
one, which is the Countryman, which has 4 doors and a bigger tailgate. It's like a mini SUV, that one.
I drove one time that was for a rental car that I had, and it had a turbo in it. That thing was dude. That thing, little car would whip around corners. Dude, that was a fun little car to drive. I'll tell you that.
But I mean, they're just a BMW because BMW make them.
Yeah, it was just it had some fucking power for as small as it was, and that thing would whip around corners. I'm not gonna lie, I took it to a parking lot and drifted it a few times.
The original Mini Cooper was a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's a nice little car though. It's real quiet too. And then they gave me the plug for it and everything, so I got everything with it. But it
Oh.
had really low miles. It only has like 61,000 miles, I think, on it. And a lot of people were saying they were getting 200,000-300,000 miles out of those things, no problem. So I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, cars have come a long way. They're getting a lot more mileage out of them now. I mean, my Ford Cortina died at 110,000 miles.
Well, it's the thing too, is like all car companies will have really good models and then they'll have their really shitty models. You know?
Oh, the Cortina was one of they only had one bigger model Ford at the time, and that was the Granada.
Like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, they all have their shitty ass cars that, are a lot of maintenance, and they have their, diamond in the rough ones that are tend
Yeah,
to be really good, reliable ones. Like my
That-
Chrysler 200 I had that for almost 7 years
I
before
quite
it
like.
started breaking.
Well, the Chrysler 300 looks more like the Bentley Continental, doesn't it?
Yeah, they definitely were trying to copy Bentley on that for sure.
Yeah. And Bentley are Volkswagen now.
But yeah, my Chrysler 200 lasted us 7 years before I got rid of it when it started having all those problems. And I had, I think, 100 and when I got it, it only had 25 miles on it. And I think we put 180 or 190,000 miles on it.
All right. I mean, you can tell the difference. Like the BMW is a 2003, and it's only got 125,000 miles on it in 20 years.
That's pretty good. That's
Fairly average for the UK. You don't do massive amount of mileage unless
Yeah,
you
my Tahoe's got 690,000 miles on it.
That's
Fucking waypoint.
what's it? Marcus just got rid of his Tahoe and
He said
replaced it with a Dodge Ram.
Waypoint said the government is us. How much did we give you? And when can you pay us back? Going to get Elon right on it. I didn't even know that was a thing until the guy told us. Like, I didn't even know there was an EV like credit to buy an electric or hybrid car. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, that was probably introduced when they wanted to change them all by 2035 or whatever.
Well, and that's the thing is he.
So I should imagine that it's one of the things Trump missed when he changed it to get rid of that executive order.
Yeah, I don't know if that's on the cutting block or not, but I got into it before he cut it. Because they get paid to throw. The thing is the dealership gets that $3,000 directly from the government, so they don't give a shit. They're not losing any money, so.
Yeah.
And then when you buy a car, the state of Florida donates $150, $160 to some children's charity for every car that's sold. I didn't know that.
Huh.
He was like, he said, you're not paying for this, and neither are we. It's the state donates it to a child's charity every time we sell a car. I was like, oh, okay. Is that every? I was like, is that every dealership? He said, as far as I know, it is. Yeah. I said, oh wow. No, I didn't want another car payment, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this paid off, and then all I have to worry about is the insurance. That's it.
Mm.
Because getting a new car and then getting full coverage for two people in Florida, dude, you'd be looking at anywhere between
Well, insurance has got to
Anyway.
be high, isn't it?
$500 to $700. Yeah, insurance in Florida is high because we're one of the worst states for uninsured motorists. So.
$500 to $700 a year.
No, a month, like with the car payment
Oh,
and
yeah.
the insurance.
My
Like if you had,
the insurance
You
on the
got expensive
BMW,
insurance.
the insurance on the BMW is £700 a year.
no, but see that's not just insurance. I was saying that's if I had a car payment as well,
Right.
because then I would have to have full coverage insurance. But since this car is paid off, I
Yeah.
can just have liability, which is only like 150 or something a month for two of us.
Well, you can't get that now. You have to be fully comp on the road now. You can't get third party only.
I just did the basic insurance for now. I might switch it up later, but I just did it just to get it off the lot. I just added it as basic. Because since I don't have a car loan, they don't require it full coverage. So, but what's up, Dominic?
No, you tell me. Daddy.
So, Joe, I bought a Steam Deck the other day, a little 6-button one, not that big ass
Yeah.
one like Jason got. Big XL one that's got like 36 buttons or some shit. Well, I bought it and then I signed up for the 1 year for Streamlabs, so I don't have to worry about the monthly fee for it for a year. And they ended up
I
giving
heard
me
you
a
say
12. Yeah, they ended up giving me a 12-button Steam Deck free with the 1 year subscription. I was like, God, no, I'll just keep both of them. I'll use both of them. It's actually a really nice deck too. The one that Streamlabs is giving. It has 2 knobs on it, 12 buttons, and 3 little buttons. I'm not sure what they do, but I have to wait 7 days before I can claim it because that's the time period they give you for the cancellation of the membership.
Yeah.
So they make you wait out the 7 days, and then they'll send you a code, and then you go to the website where they have them, and you put the code in, and it just gives you it for free, and then they ship it to you. I got 3 or 4 more days, so I got to wait before I get the email. But if anybody's well, I guess nobody really in here streams, but they are offering it if you want to use Streamlabs. They're giving a free Steam Deck with it. Which isn't bad because it's like that would cost you about $80 to $100 to buy that on its own, so not a bad deal.
Yep. That's a pretty good deal, getting an extra year.
Plus, you're getting the whole year of service from Streamlabs too. So it's like, I really liked Prism and everything. It's just, ah, man, it's got some weird glitchy shit, and that's why Jason stopped using it too. When you start like trying to, because like YouTube recommends, I think like 7 to 9,000 on the bit rate when you're streaming. But every time you put the bit rate over like 4,500, it just fucking it won't stay live. It just keeps kicking your stream off. And me and him both had the same issue. And we got plenty fast internet that shouldn't be a problem. So I don't know what the deal is with Prism. Other than that, it works fine. But if you don't put that bit rate high enough, your streams look really like really shitty. How'd your basketball shoot go the other day, Joe? I saw your picture you sent me.
No, it was track,
Was that
North Shore track.
track? Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Lord help me. It took me longer than I thought it was gonna take because the pictures weren't bad. But it was when I got home, I started using the green screen extract that wouldn't work.
So did it
Wouldn't
mess all your
communicate.
pictures up or what?
No, it wouldn't communicate with the Photoshop. So I put the disk over in Apple and did it that way on Apple.
Okay, so you were
And
able to at least save them.
yeah, and I contacted the guy it's his software, and he said it could be because I got Norton. He said it could be Norton blocking it. I said it never blocked it before. You know, but something's blocking it. You can tell. And
I
he
thought you
told me
got
so.
rid of Norton.
I never took it off. I'm gonna have to. I don't have Windows Defender working. I've got just Norton working.
Did it tell you to turn Windows Defender off?
It asked me if I wanted to turn it on.
That needs to be on. Any program asks you to turn Windows Defender off is a little sketchy.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember when I. It's somewhere I've seen it where it says Windows Defender and it doesn't say it's on. I don't remember where it was.
Yeah, that's. Well, are you getting security updates every week?
Yeah,
It should be on then because you wouldn't be getting the updates. I don't think if it was turned
I'm
off.
getting security updates with Norton. That's what I mean.
But you're not getting Windows security updates because they usually put one out every week or so.
Well, if they're putting them out, I got automatic updates, so I'm not seeing them.
Huh.
Hold on, my daughter's calling. Let me see what she wants.
Yeah, because there's some programs out there that are super sketchy and they'll tell you, oh, in order to run this, you got to turn Windows Defender off. Now, fuck that.
Yeah, otherwise you might get a virus.
It's exactly why it will try to tell you to do that. That's not good to do.
Well, I convinced my neighbor to strictly use Windows Defender instead of McAfee.
All those programs do nowadays is they just slow your computer way the fuck down. They're not really that good, to be honest with you. Like Malwarebytes is
So-
good if you just want to scan your computer once in a while. It's a good program to look for malware, but you don't need to have it running all the time,
No.
you know?
hmm
Like I've ran files through Malwarebytes and found shit in them before I downloaded them. Like if I thought the file might be sketchy or the download, because there's an executable file in there, I ran it
Mhm.
through Malwarebytes and it said, yeah, there's something sketchy in here, and it blocked it. You know, and then Windows Defender actually blocked me from being able to download it.
I
But I-
try to use Malwarebytes once every 2 months.
I mean, I have it on my computer, but I don't let it run in the background. It sits
No,
there.
I just use it every like 2 months just to make sure there's nothing crept in, you know?
Yeah, that's all I do is I run it every once in a while and just check. And then I'll use, like I said, I'll use it if I download something before I actually install a download, I'll run it through there if I think it might have something sketchy or might be sketchy.
Say, Mark, I hear your prime minister is over here.
Who gives a toss?
Might be.
Yeah, I think he is visiting.
He's
A lot of world leaders have been coming over here.
meeting with Trump about to Ukraine, I think.
Yeah. That was what they said last week.
So what are they saying over there
Well,
about
the
this meeting?
Ukraine minister was supposed to be going as well. Because he was pissed off with being left out of Trump's discussions with Putin.
Oh,
The thing is they need to go ahead and find a resolve, whether they just secede
but
to Russia and give them the
it's
land
no
they already
good.
have.
It's no good trying to sort out a deal to end the war with only one side of the battle.
I think Trump's just trying to see what
Well,
does Vladimir want.
Well, he already told Zelensky that he needs to open his elections back up because they keep pausing their elections because of this. And he wants Zelensky to step down and run the elections.
Do we know what we want from the mineral rights?
Yeah, he wants our $300 billion back, which I don't blame him. Because the European Union gave it was like 150 billion or something, but they put it out as a loan that they're supposed to pay back at some point. Now, whether it ever gets paid back or not, I don't fucking know. But we just gave them the 350 billion. Just here, take it, without no stipulations.
Because I think they've got like 40 other countries supporting Ukraine as well from the EU.
But that's what I said. I don't disagree with trying to get our money back.
No,
I didn't support that shit from the beginning.
It's called getting your investment back.
Look, if Putin stays the fuck out of the NATO countries and just fucking takes Ukraine, why the fuck should I care? Ukraine ain't a big enough country on the world stage to make a difference.
He had Ukraine when they were the CCCP, or the USSR, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
Ukraine was part of Russia.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, as an American citizen and everyday citizen, if he's not fucking with any of our allies and that's all he wants, I don't give a shit. Let him fucking take it. Fuck do I care?
If I'm not mistaken, USSR, they haven't used that since what, the Cold War? Oh,
yeah,
That
when
was
they had
1991 when they fell.
It was the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and that was
republics.
like Bosnia, Georgia, Ukraine, whatever it is, Herzegovina. Oh God, must have been about 15 different countries part of it.
But like I said, at the end of the day, if he's not fucking with you guys, he's not fucking with Germany or any of the, NATO countries. Why the fuck should any of us care? Ukraine isn't a big enough economy on the world stage to affect us at all. So, like, why are we wasting all that money in there?
Captain Joe.
What's up, Andrew?
What's going on?
Working too hard.
Oh, too many games.
Well, the game's over right now.
Dominic,
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's over right now. I just did some team pictures.
Have they paid you?
Oh, yeah. That paid well.
Ooh.
I'd imagine that track and field's just about to start, isn't it?
Yeah, track and field starting now.
Yeah.
both boys and girls?
Yeah. I just put the posters out for the seniors, so they should start buying them any day now. Figure they'll pay them, they'll buy them around the first when they get paid. So I'm thinking.
How
And
long?
it's 20 posters, $65 a piece. So that'll be nice.
1,300.
Yep.
That sounds about right, Mark.
Yeah, I'll make profit wise probably about $2,400 on everything.
Ooh.
So 2 days work. 2 long days, but they're 2 days work.
Well, yeah, you probably worked on those last night till when?
I put in 10, about 26 hours,
Oh, wow.
and 4 hours was wasted because I had to figure out how to get the green screen thing to work.
Yeah, because you had a situation, you had the green screen behind them, but there was times when the green screen was
This
through the arm or whatever, right?
No, the green, that
This-
wasn't an issue. That was when she had it on, not, it was easy.
the
Oh.
But I mean, the problem, I couldn't get it to take the green screen out. I couldn't get the program to work.
The software.
Yeah, the software wasn't reading Photoshop. So when I talked to the developer of the software, the guy, Shrek Photography, he says, "Oh, just do it as a batch. It might work." He said, "It's probably Norton blocking it." He said, "Take Norton off it's to see if that works." He said, "Or if you don't want to take Norton off, try it as a batch." And when I typed it in as a batch, boom, went right through.
Huh.
So
I didn't
it-
even know what that was. So I learned something
It-
yesterday. I learned
So-
something today on the, what you call it, on the drone. I found
So
out if
it-
you're doing a hyperlapse, you ready for this? If you're doing a hyperlapse and the hyperlapse is finished, until you switch out of hyperlapse mode, you cannot do a yaw with your drone. It will not
Really?
turn to the left or turn to the right. You'll go to the left or go to the right, but it will not turn yaw. Because I got my
Oh, so-
So all
17%
it does
battery.
is side slide left or
So-
right.
Yeah.
So you
I'm
won't
out in the
angle.
middle of, it'll go frontwards, backwards, up, down, sideways, but it won't rotate.
Won't allow you to do this with the camera.
It'll start to rotate and then it'll stop. Like that, because it's in hyperlapse mode. Even though you're not doing one. And I'm over the river with 18% battery. And I said, "Oh, hell no." Like that. I brought that sucker in sideways and backwards, sideways, about did serpentine in like that. So I got it back to me. And Johnny said, "Well, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know." I said, I don't know if sideways got turned off or something. So I went looking through it, couldn't find it. So I landed it. And I said, "You know what? I bet you they had to do it hyperlapse." So I went back up there in video and it worked perfect. I put it in hyperlapse and it wouldn't do it. I said, "There you go. Now we know."
Has that
Hey.
happened to you, Paul?
Joe,
No,
Paul
I don't
doesn't do
use
those.
any of those technical stuff. Those guys are the real pilots. Real flyers. I'm just a pilot.
Paul doesn't do any of the hyperlapse or master shots or anything like that.
Well, you do you've mastered the art of going around the ships that come up.
That's all done manually.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I do is manual except for the hyperlapse.
it's an art.
Because the hyperlapse will give you like 300 pictures of the stuff moving at segments,
Yeah.
and it give you that fast movement, you know. And I did it of the bridge today, and then I came back and did it a second time just to double check thing. And it's
Hey, Joe, did you watch the sheriff's thing yesterday here in Florida? All the sheriffs got together.
well, I saw the sheriff thing. I was trying to send it to you, and I couldn't get it
Oh,
to
no.
work in the back. It was the
I
one
wa-
that caught the guy with the BMW, and they had the Georgia Scat Back. He said they had a fast BMW. We got a Scat Back.
No. I'm talking about
Was that-
all the sheriffs got together and had a big conference yesterday
Oh,
on the
I
news,
didn't see
or
it.
was it a couple days ago? And they got approved to be able to enforce federal immigration, and they have to go through a month's worth of training, and they're going to start. And ICE has already issued 700,000 warrants in Florida alone,
700,000.
out of 1.4 million that they have on the books for Florida. And the sheriff said, "All right, the only thing that they needed from the federal government is they need capacity, like they need the government to come in and build some facilities to house them until
Ah.
ICE gets rid of them, because they said we're about to give you more than you can handle." because they don't have no beds available in their jails. Most of the jails are at capacity with just regular people. So they said that they're going to, they're waiting for the federal government to come in and help them with the,
Is that like a seventh of all the warrants in Florida?
no, 700,000 illegals that they
Yeah.
have put warrants out for, but there's 1.4 million altogether. But they've already flooded their system with 700,000 warrants. And the sheriffs all said there was like 50 or 60 sheriffs at this conference
I-
in
I
from
wonder-
Florida.
I wonder how many of them came in illegally from China.
Well, I don't know. They didn't go over like specific who was who because that's a lot of warrants. They can't sit there and go through every one of them and tell you. But all the sheriffs said that they're ready to go to town as soon as they get that training done. At the end of, they said it would take anywhere between 15 to 30 days. Then they're going to start rounding people up left and right.
Paul, how would that go if they had that many up by you?
probably do.
You know, we don't know what's going on. The number one thing on the border right now is fentanyl.
No, if
Well,
that happened in
Because
Michigan by
there's
your
a few
house.
people coming across the Canadian border, but not to the extreme that it was down in southern border.
no, in Florida, you're going to find more. Like, say there's just this isn't an accurate number. I'm just using an example. Say there's 10 million illegals. Most of them are going to be in the very populated states like Florida, California, New York, places like that, because that's where the most jobs are and work and stuff. You'd probably find a lot less in like the smaller Midwest states, where the population for the whole state's less than 1 million people.
Yep.
Maybe in the farmlands you might find quite a few, but like I said, 1.4 million warrants were just for Florida alone.
Because Illinois and Massachusetts are fighting Trump on his illegal immigration
Oh yeah,
mandate.
of course they are.
Did you
Not
see?
illegal.
Did you guys see Trump's interaction with the Maine governor?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was fucking hilarious.
Did
He
you
looked
see it,
at her.
Paul?
He said, "Oh, you're gonna comply, or I'm gonna pull all your funding." He fucking ripped her right in front of everybody in the same room. Shit was hilarious.
Then she says, "See you in court." He said, "Yeah, that'd be an easy one. I
Yeah,
don't think you'd be in politics anymore."
yeah.
Did you see it, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh, dude,
What
I
do-
was laughing my ass
what-
off when I saw that.
What do you think, Paul,
About what?
of that interaction?
Well, it's all hilarious. I mean, you can go through the news and see all kinds of nonsense going on. We live in a time when the news isn't the news anymore. The news is the gossip column.
True.
Well, no, the news went from reporting at a non-biased type format to having
Sensational.
agendas. Well, they're all owned by billionaires that have their own agendas, right? At the end of the day,
Oh
and
yeah,
companies.
they're there to make a profit by getting
Right.
viewership, by sensationalizing everything.
Right. Well, that's why mainstream media,
Jody-
especially here in the U.S., has their viewership has dropped down to record like lows, and everybody's going to more independent news people on like social media. That's why these people that are doing like their own independent news channels on YouTube, they're fucking raking in the views and the
Oh, yeah.
subscribers. There's this one kid I watch. He can't be more than like 22, 23 years old, and he travels around, I think, with his mom and a couple other people. I think he's got a couple security guards that travel around. They go all over the world doing news stories. And he went to Iceland and he walked around for 2 hours doing a live stream and just asked people, "What do you think about Trump wanting to buy Iceland?" He just walked around interviewing people. But you didn't get uncut, filtered news. It was all live. You just right. You got to hear honest answers.
Not Iceland, Greenland.
Or Greenland, my bad. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was just live asking people. You got to hear their full opinion on it.
They have not said if Trump is still going to pursue trying to buy Greenland.
Mind you, you
Ain't
could
buying it.
probably ask every person that lives in Greenland in one day. They've
Yeah,
only
there's
got
only
27,000 people.
Because
Yeah.
Denmark is against us trying to buy Greenland.
all they can do is make an offer, and if Greenland takes it, they take it. I mean, that's up to them at the end of the day.
Hello, 204.
He's
Clone
not going to
Life.
go in with the military and fucking take it. He's going to make an offer, and if they don't take it, they don't take it. There's nothing else to do after that. I mean, he can try to. I mean, we already got military set up in there, so
Is
Mm.
what's his name on the west coast of Canada going to move south into the United States? We were helping him with the computer a bit ago.
no, thanks, 204. I don't want to move to Canada. I love it in Florida. I'm good down here.
And you love your sheriff.
Nothing against Canadians themselves, but no, I'm good.
Now, Andrew, he loves his governor.
No, I just love my state.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you love your governor too.
I like my whole state
whole
government,
setup?
all the way down to the local governments, because they're all working together. They're all on the same fucking page. And when you have your
Ooh.
state, local, and counties, and everybody's all on the same page, shit just runs smooth.
Oh, Waypoint, is it official that Waypoint, is it official the Epstein files are out?
They're set to be released from what I saw earlier.
Because I saw the guy standing on the Capitol steps with the binder in his hand of the Epstein
Yeah, I think they
file.
were released.
Yeah, well, people were trying to say that, oh, he's not going to release those files because he's gonna be on the list, and it was like when he first got accused of all that, Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and told him he couldn't come back in there.
Mohawk,
So
Mohawk
is-
Tatted News.
this
What's
is a
up?
different a different Epstein to the one that's most famous.
yeah, I just saw a couple titles on their YouTube channels earlier, but I didn't click on them and actually watch the video,
Just
so I
like
don't know.
the original Epstein was the Beatles manager.
I mean, Canada's not bad,
m-
but
Mark, any clue if there's any relation?
I don't know.
I'm not going to say Canada's the worst place, but it's just nothing. It's nothing of their people. It's just their government I don't like. I didn't like my own government a few months ago, so
Well, Tom Homan is going all hell on several activists in California over releasing names and addresses and phone numbers of ICE agents.
well, there was something a couple weeks ago about supposedly there were some leaks that actually came out of the FBI, but I don't know if I never did see if that actually ever materialized into anything. But that
Yeah,
was right before what's his name took over. I think the new FBI director. Can't
Oh,
think of his
Kash
name.
Patel.
Yeah,
Well, he should get on with Sunak. They're both Indian.
Supposedly, Kash Patel was going after some top deep state employees of our government.
well, that's technically his job. They're the federal police.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to hold they're supposed to hold the government itself to a certain standard when they're doing illegal shit.
Mm-hmm. So California is going crazy over that.
Well, apparently they got all their reservoirs refilled back up from what I saw on that when Trump was doing another interview I think they were no, they were having that big meeting where he had his whole cabinet there. It was like a day or two yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Did you see the LA fire chief was let go?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I
that
must look how Toyota have managed to do that. They're advertising their electric cars and a hydrogen powered car. Now, originally, they
Yeah.
were going to say that hydrogen powered cars just extracted the hydrogen from water to run.
they've been testing that for
Oh, it's
since at
out.
least June.
It's out. Toyota have had one out for months.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, they've been out for a minute now.
Because there were stations that that they could have converted into hydrogen stations in California,
Although,
but
Yeah,
they
but
took those out.
the car doesn't need to get hydrogen from a tank. It can
No?
produce. It should be able to produce its own hydrogen just from water. Strip the oxygen atoms from water, and you get hydrogen.
Yeah.
And all the exhaust is at the end of the day is steam.
Hmm.
I don't know if that would be a good thing though. At the end of the day, because then you'd start seeing fucking lakes and shit emptying.
But Mark,
amount of-
are they pushing the UK residents to buy hydrogen or electric cars heavily?
Well, we had the same mandate as you had until Trump did that executive order, but we still got it. So,
Which California, I think, still has that themselves as a state. I think they had that same shit, don't they? Pretty sure they did. I think they have their own mandate, California. I don't know if they're still doing it, but
I don't know, can they have a mandate to oppose an executive order?
well, the executive order is mainly for federal stuff.
I mean, I know it's not a rule.
Well, it's mainly executive orders deal with federal stuff, not local state stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but are they not supposed to have a local state thing that contradicts a federal US
No.
one?
no, not
That's supposed
necessarily.
to.
It depends on
Technically,
it.
a
Really
state can't
depends.
overrule a federal mandate.
That's what I would have thought.
That's why I
So-
think it's funny in Louisiana. They have a federal mandate in Louisiana that if you're a convicted felon, you can own a weapon after 10 years of being clean, away from everything. But federal law says you can't.
Hmm.
But in the state of
See-
Louisiana, you can. And they
See,
do that for people that work security details and things like that.
See, I'm kind of okay with that. I think if somebody does some time and they get out and they straighten their life up and they've been good and they've been working hard and they've quit everything, for a significant amount of time, I think they should get certain rights back. Especially if it was their first time, Because
Oh, yeah.
take my uncle, for example. Like my uncle, he got thrown in jail back in the early 90s for a meth lab that he had and got thrown in jail. I think he was in there for like 6 or 8
He was
years.
Breaking Bad, huh?
Yeah, he got like 6 or 8 years in jail, got out, and my dad gave him a job at his tow company. He worked really hard. He quit smoking, quit drinking. He didn't do anything, and he's been
Yeah.
clean and a hard worker for the past 20 some years. Has never been in trouble since.
Mhm.
Those type of people, I think that actually do come out the other side, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. I think
Right.
a 10-year buffer period, I think is
Well, that's how
Okay.
Louisiana, you have to be, and if you serve this way to work, because I've read that damn thing. Because my son was talking about it when he went to the police academy. He says, I don't understand this, how we cannot enforce this. I said, well, you're not federal, first off.
Yeah, you can't enforce federal
Yeah,
unless the federal government
you can't
gives
do
you.
a federal law. I said, if they break the law, you can arrest them. If it's a federal law, they're gonna have to take care of it,
Now,
They'll have to come pick them up.
if a local police department is on a federal task force and they're
Or if they get a
deputized
federal
to
warrant
do
to pick
that,
the guy up. They can
Right.
get the warrant to pick the guy up.
right?
But
That's what I
they
said.
can't, they gotta arrest him within a federal warrant, the details of it.
Right, but like I
Because-
said, a local PD can be on a federal task force and be deputized to enforce
Yeah.
certain things through them,
Right.
but that has
And it
to
was,
be a
he was
co-op
showing
thing.
me the way it's written, it's that you have to, no matter what you've done, actually, it does matter what you've done. There's certain things you've done, you're still exempt. You can't have it. I remember that. There's about 10 things. And it's inclusive if you can't have a weapon in a different state because of what you did.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's the
'cause-
inclusive part of it, right? And because that made sense, because that going with federal law. But if you do something in Louisiana, you fall under these guidelines, and you're 10 years from serving your sentence plus your any parole or any supervision. So
Right.
if you got 6 years parole, you spent 10 years, then you got to be 16 years out before you can do it.
Which I
So they're
don't
not
see.
giving you a chance. You know, if you get in trouble in between it, done.
Right.
So
You know?
if the states say they can do that and the feds say they can't, if they get a weapon after that time, the state can't touch them, but the feds can.
I don't know.
Not
That's a lot of
necessarily.
legal shit.
It technically, if you if you do something with that gun in a crime, the feds can take you in. That's what he was trying to figure out. He never did answer me. Tell me what that was.
Well, it's kind of like almost kind of like the federal mandate on marijuana, right? It's considered
Right.
a scheduled one. It's illegal, but yet the federal government allows the states to make their own decision on it. But at any time, they could come in and just shut everything down if they wanted.
Right.
Like at any time, even though you're like say in Colorado and you have a dispensary and you're all legal, licensed up with the state, you got all your paperwork in line. At any time, the feds could come into your store and just raid it and take everything and shut
Right.
you down. But sometimes there's rules on the books for the federal government, but they'll look the other way and allow states to make their own mind up. But for some reason, they'll never overturn it. I don't understand that. Like the whole marijuana thing. If you're going to allow states to make up their own mind, why is it still federally illegal?
Right.
It should
But the
just be
biggest thing
taken out.
that he couldn't get out of that, and I couldn't understand it either, is that if you fall under that category where you're allowed to do it in the state of Louisiana, okay, and other states have the same statute, some don't. I was going through all of that, and because that was when he was in school to be a police officer, and we got into a heated on that one, and I said, well, this is my question. I said, if federally they saying you can't own the gun, and the state says, well, after the time you can own the gun, and it doesn't expire federal, how is the guy going to go to the store and buy it? Because it's got to go federal. Because it's got to fill out a federal form, and it's got to be going through ATF. So if ATF says no, you can't do it, but the state says yes, where's he get the gun from?
Hmm.
You see, that's the loophole in the deal that I couldn't figure out.
I think that is just the federal government looking the other way and allowing them to do that.
It might be.
Because you might not be the only state that does that. I think there's other states that allow that as well. They actually allow you to vote as well, too. If I'm not mistaken, there's some states that allow you to vote after so many years as well.
Yeah.
Well, considering you're allowed to run for president, I'm sure you should be able to vote.
Yeah.
Fucking Russell. You prick.
Russell say.
You said,
Why is your name on the list?
Why
No,
is my name on the Epstein files?
They did have Tim Jackson on it.
I was only 16 at the time, Russell. No, but yeah, that whole shit can get confusing between federal and state stuff. So it's just like how the federal government can say, "Oh, we're gonna enforce immigration," right? And how some of the states can actually sign laws in their own state telling their local police that they can't cooperate at all, and it's 100% legal. They're allowed to do that. So if ICE knocks on the local police department's door and says, "We need your help for a raid," they say, "Nope, we can't help you. We're not allowed to."
Have you heard from Matt lately?
From Australia, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Fortnite
Oh,
almost
that's what
every
I'm
day with
saying.
us.
Because I hadn't seen him in anything, and I don't go anything to watch it. I don't like Fortnite.
He
I
doesn't
had enough
really
of it here.
he doesn't really do
But what?
YouTube anymore, so
But I was thinking he was hiding because the Epstein stuff was coming up.
no.
You know.
No, he I talk to Matt at least once some
Yeah.
almost every day. So
I figured he didn't want to be in. He didn't want. He already knew he's in trouble.
no, yeah, he plays Fortnite about every day with everybody. So yeah, and he's in our Fortnite group chat too. We got like 15 or 20 people in that chat.
Oh,
I like when the kid tells me, "Can you change the picture to my second picture that I took?" Okay, you got an individual, and you have a poster. So what picture from which one on where? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so an episode of Storage Wars this afternoon over here, and they had this one item or storage container that just had something covered in a tarpaulin, and it was obviously a car of some sort, but to listen to them trying to figure out what it was ridiculous. And
Oh, yeah, they have been released.
I think the woman got it for £3,200. And when they pulled the covers off it, it was an American police car, the white with the blue stripe and all the lights on and everything, worth about 10,000, something like that over here.
Oh,
And it fired up straight away as well on the key.
Now, another judge just came out and blocked Trump from firing probationary workers. They're gonna F around and find out when it gets to Supreme Court. They're gonna make him king.
well, and
Well, you can't legally. They can't stop him from.
You're
Not
right. He can't. But
firing.
these are politicians. These are not judges.
Yeah, but they're probationary workers, therefore they're on probation. If they decide at the
Right.
end of that time they're not suitable, they go anyway. So there's no protection about being fired while you're on probation,
well, the
unless,
thing is,
unless you go through the union and prove that it's wrong.
well, and the thing is too is like some of the there's been a couple judges that have blocked it, but then there's been federal judges above them, like between what is it, what courts there are, the appellate courts, the ones that are over like 6 or 7 states or whatever it is.
yeah.
I can't remember what the hell
Well,
they're called, but
that's
there's been
the
a couple of them that overruled it.
Court of Appeal.
Well, there's been a couple.
An appellate court is where your appeals get heard.
The one judge, the female judge, a bunch of states came to her and said, "Oh, we want you to block this because or whatever," and she came back and said, "Well, you guys aren't proving that this is actually causing any harm, so I'm not gonna side with you." And she ended up siding with Trump on it. It was a lot of it was over the budget cuts and stuff. She said I don't see the harm in cutting budgets if you're trying to save money. So
Yeah, it's a case of more of the Democrats whining.
well, that's the thing is you're supposed to be like non-biased when you're a judge, right? And follow the law to the T. But these judges, they run as Democrats and Republicans, and
Yeah.
they have their own views at the end of the day. You know, unfortunately, they don't
But
go in it with a non-bias.
they're supposed to set aside their own personal views, but a lot of them do not.
And that's the problem is they're human at the end of the day, and humans have their own train of thought, and everybody has their own train of thought in their head. So I mean, if you had a computer system making decisions like a judge that actually read the laws and went exactly by the laws, you'd probably see a way different outcome on a lot of shit. Uh, but that's a problem too, is laws are a lot of laws are written very vague so they can twist it to fit whatever fucking narrative they want. Usually it doesn't say, oh, you have to do this. They'll fucking throw a bunch of legal shit in there and word it in a way that it's very vague and there's no actual straight distinction on what the law is supposed to mean. And then they have to like interpret it, and they can interpret it in 20 different ways, you know? Yeah, it's a clusterfuck sometimes, that's for sure. I don't even want to know the answer to that, Russell.
What is that? Well, my son sent me the $200 left that he owes me on that gun that he borrowed money from before. Hold on, my daughter's calling. She's trying to get me to watch a video about Trump.
This guy, this guy just asked in the video. He said, "If you don't pay your exorcist, would you get repossessed?"
Like that one.
Fucking stupid.
She wants me to watch something she sent me about Trump doing some kind of AI thing of Gaza, the way they want to make Gaza or something like this.
Oh, he wants to
It was
turn
my
it into a
reaction.
hotel and beach resort, don't he? But he wants to own it. He just wants to use other people's money to build it.
Well,
Yeah.
who was it? One of the countries over there said they'd be willing to take a lot of refugee kids
It
out of
took
Gaza.
long. It took them long enough to get Gaza and call it Palestine, because before then, till like the early 80s, mid 80s, they didn't even have a country to call their own. I can
Yeah,
understand they don't want to give it up.
yeah, that whole area's one fucking mess. That's for sure. But I know there was one country that offered to take 2 million, or was it take 60 or 70,000 kids? I guess they were orphaned. I don't know, in the war or something.
Well, they have to be orphans. I mean, otherwise, what you do with the parents?
Was it Jordan? I can't remember. It was one of those countries around there was saying they were willing to take them.
Mm.
There was one of them that Trump had a meeting with. Might have been Egypt. I can't remember offhand who it was. But they were willing to take all the refugee, like orphan kids, and it was like 60 or 70,000 or something. Which honestly, I don't know if even that's a good thing because you don't know what the fuck they want those kids for. You know, those countries in that area aren't the most, aren't the best countries for sure. Dude, Facebook is getting so annoying. It's like every time somebody posts something, it sends you an alert as a suggestion to look at it.
I like that post that I put on the other day. If it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, according to Facebook, it's a squirrel.
But yeah, that's true, Brenda. Yeah, it's a huge mess over there. I'll give it to them though. As small as Israel is, they're a tough little fucking country. I'll tell you that. That's one thing I don't know. I kind of am okay with Trump like trying to like broker a peace deal between them, but I don't really want to get like super involved with that shit. Like,
She said that
Also-
was Donald Trump posted that. I gotta go find that shit. It shows Gaza
Why,
being
why do
built
you
up
get
like
in,
a
why do you
resort.
get in a fight with her?
I'm not fighting with him. I told her about if she keep calling me. I said, you're sick. You're not supposed to be fighting with me. What is it? What is it? Let's see. Actually, I'm not looking at it on my phone. I'm looking at it on the computer.
most likely it's some video that somebody made and posted on social media somewhere.
I
and it
guarantee
just
you.
caught- just caught like
I'm gonna tell
wildfire.
them it's fake. She says, I want to see your reaction when you see it. They call it Trump Gaza. They're showing a big gold statue in the middle of him, dancing girls and all this stuff.
That's
Yeah,
something somebody
Turned
just
it into
made.
one of his own hotel complexes.
The
I
thing
say,
is,
you're
is
so
if,
gullible.
the thing is if he has anything to say, he posts it to his social media accounts. If that was a
No,
video that he did, he would have it on one of his social media accounts.
Well, they're showing it and it says from Donald Trump on X, right? I'll go on X and look for it.
Just go to his page and see if
Oh,
he
no,
actually
probably not.
posted it. But you got to remember too, man, he's like Elon, dude. Them two are like the biggest internet trolls ever. Like they'll be posting shit just to get under people's skin, even if they don't mean it.
Yeah, he might be.
So it wouldn't surprise me even if he did post that. Just like the
Well, I'll put it this
picture
way,
he
I don't
did of
see-
him standing over Canada with an American flag. Like that was
Yeah, I'm looking all the way back to February 9th and I didn't see it. If it's on TikTok, we know it's fake.
I'm still waiting to see what's going on with that. I haven't heard any updates on that.
Well, you've still got another month yet.
Yeah, he said he thinks he's got
Longer
a
than
deal in
that
the works.
too.
I think it's about a month and a half or so.
It was
I think
nearly 2 months. The 19th of January, wasn't it, when it was due to go, or the 20th?
well, I think Trump's in his what, 6 weeks now?
Yeah.
So okay,
Seems
so
like
it'd
a
be like,
year, no?
It's
so
only
if they-
five. It's only 5 weeks since 20th of
Yeah,
January.
5 weeks today.
okay, so it'd be a month and 3
Actually,
weeks.
it's only
then.
4 weeks.
So he would have a month and 3 weeks or 2 months.
No, it's
depending on-
5.
It's
Yeah,
5
it's-
now. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be a
5 now.
month and 3 weeks they got left on that deadline because it was 90 days. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
which 12 weeks. So we've got another 7 weeks
Seven.
yet.
Got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
I know they
Yeah, I
added
just wait.
they added it back
Right.
on the App Store. Now you can download it again.
Yeah.
It was
I know, I
blocked
had
the
a
first
sale.
3 weeks.
Someone's gonna buy my phone for $10,000 and now they won't.
It was
Huh.
blocked for the first like 3.5 weeks that it was banned, that he brought or lifted the ban on it. Google
Yeah.
Play would not let you download it.
Yeah,
But
they took CapCut off as well.
yeah, but then about a week and a half ago, they added it back on the App Store. But see, you could still use CapCut and TikTok if it was already on your phone.
Yeah.
but you couldn't go back to the App Store if you had deleted it and re-download it, but now you can download them again. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That might be a good sign. I don't know. Maybe he brokered some kind of. Maybe he's working behind the scenes on some deal with them.
Gas receipt, that's it. right
I'm just still on the fence. Like me and Mark were talking that day. How the fuck do they connect the systems to where everybody can talk, but then have it separated? I still don't get how that's going to work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a way of doing it. But
there.
I
Guess
just
what I
have-
went to get to eat today?
what?
When I finished flying with Johnny, I had to run over to Sam's and fill up my car with gas, right? Because I got, at 160 miles, I gotta put gas in because my gauge ain't working right. Just to be safe. I still have about 40, 50 miles.
You don't
You
want to run out of gas as a man. You'll lose your man card for that,
Yeah, no.
even with a broken
So-
gauge.
Yeah, it works sometimes, but I don't want to take a chance. But I ran over there and filled up, and it only took. It had 164 miles. Only took 5 gallons of gas. I got a 20 freaking gallon tank. Okay, so I had 15 gallons of gas. That makes me feel better. The other day I put in gas and I put in 7 gallons the other day. Like that. And I was at 164. The same thing. 160. But the difference is all of that other was highway miles.
Yeah, watch
So I
him,
got better
Mark.
gas mileage.
Mark, he's gonna
Hmm?
fuck around and hit 170 and run out of gas on the highway. But see, it's
Thought
so
about
hard
that.
to try to determine your gas mileage like that in an older car because you are doing different driving. You might be on the highway one day, you might be
Well, that's
doing a
why
lot of city
160 is 160 when it does work, it shows me I've got a little more than 3/8 of a tank. So
But does your
that's
gas
why I
light
figured.
still work?
Yeah, it goes on. I could have a full tank of gas and the little gas light will be on until it decides to work.
So your
And what
gas
it
li-
is, I
your
got to
gas
switch
light-
yeah, it's a little module.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
your gas
There'll be the contact on the top of your petrol tank where the float the float fits.
so okay, so that would be tied into the gas light to warn you that you're almost out of gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it's not working, it's telling me that,
Yeah, I think it's time for you just to trade that thing in to get something new. Come on,
Yeah, I
dude. You know you want to get a brand new one. Nice
Plus,
tight
No,
well,
I
new
can't do
steering.
it yet.
your mileages are always to cock anyway when you compare it to what it'll do with one of our gallons, which is more petrol than one of your gallons.
But that's the thing too, is like, dude, there's nothing better. I'm telling you, there's nothing nicer than getting in a brand new car with all new tight steering and everything.
Oh, I
That's
know.
the best feeling ever. When you get a brand new car. Everything's all new and fresh and steering's nice and tight on it and everything.
Ugh.
The plastic
What are you
covers
doing,
on
Paul?
the seat, you don't
What are you
want to
looking
take
at?
off.
Yeah.
The little paper mats on top of your car mats.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better when you get a brand new car and you get to peel the plastic off to the entertainment center.
Paul's not even looking at us, not even paying attention to us.
What's that?
He
I
days
said,
it
what are
off.
you doing?
I'm looking at drones.
We don't need to be buying nothing.
I
How?
know.
What are you looking at? Which one?
They released your Mavic 4 yet? Or any
Well,
updates on that?
the Mavic 3, have you, or the Air 3?
The Air 3S or Air 3?
Have you flown the Air 3?
I've flown both, the Air 3 and the Air 3S.
Air 3S is a better one?
Air 3S, if I only had one drone and the only drone I could have was the Air 3S, I'd be very happy.
Okay.
But it's $1,500 for the fly mode kit. $1,600.
Does the Air 2 batteries work with
Plus,
the
it's
Air 3?
extremely
No.
difficult to get
No.
one into America at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're hard to get to, everything's hard to get
Well,
right now
the
with DJI.
25% tariffs went into place too. So how much does it cost now?
No, it's the same price. It's still the same price.
So they lowered their price on their end to cover that 25%.
Well, they haven't changed price yet because it's still the same price. If I ordered it today, I'd get it the same price I'd get it 6 months ago.
See, so what I'm thinking they may have done is they may have lowered their own prices there to cover that, compensate for that 25%.
Well, is
Almost,
that
but-
ordering it direct from DJI?
Yeah, direct from DJI.
Yeah, because if it's coming from like Amazon warehouse, that's already paid for by Amazon.
Yeah,
so
they've
they
already
can
they've got it in stock
Well,
already.
Yeah.
Well, there's word that they're trying to, Amazon warehouse, I didn't think had any. But the word is, and this was on one of the shows the other night, they were saying that DJI is trying to open up a production area in the United States.
Oh, did you see what Apple did?
They've been saying that for years.
Did you
Yeah, but
guys
they're
see
gonna,
what
Apple is going to spend
A-
a lot of money in the U.S.
Apple? Well, all the tariffs he put on India because India had like almost 100% tariffs on a lot of our shit coming in. So he put all those tariffs on India. Now Apple has found it more lucrative to build the phones here in the U.S. And so now they're moving all $500 billion of their operations back to the U.S.
Okay.
So they've already pledged for $500 billion investment back into the U.S.
Hello, Edward.
Thank
How
you.
you doing?
Oh,
Yeah, but is Trump going to be giving them grants towards
gonna pull it
building the
out.
new premises?
Most likely what it's going to, well, what he's doing too for companies is he's getting
Let me
rid
see,
of a
come here.
lot of the red tape
Let
and
me-
regulations that they have to go through, like, stupid
Come here.
permitting for stupid shit and
Come here.
all that, and then he's like,
Get up here.
instead
Get
of an
up here.
environmental study taking 5
Get up
years, it will take like a week or two, for him to get it done like that. He's like streamlining everything. So it's not expensive for companies to come back and rebuild warehouses and shit like that.
Mhm.
So he said for every one regulation that he puts in place, he wants to get rid of 10 that he finds to be
You want it? Guess
harmful
what?
towards like businesses wanting to
Guess
open
what?
here and stuff. So for every one he puts in place, he'll scrap 10 regulations.
Yeah, my only feeling on that is that he's looking at it
Give it to him.
as a businessman rather than a
Give it to
politician.
him.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't know if we've ever seen in any of our governments an actual businessman run a government like that. So it might be a good thing at the end of the day. I don't know. This is what everybody voted for, right? At the end of the day, almost a majority, because we want to see something different, right, than your standard politician. So, if we're all fucking wrong at the end of the day, we're going to see it. But so far,
But
I
I'll
can't
tell you
really
what,
complain about a lot of what he's doing.
I know a lot of you guys, especially Paul, thinks the sun shines out of his arsehole. He's really pissing a lot of people off in Europe.
Well, don't
I
matter.
mean, he is, but I mean, but that, like I said, there's certain things that are unfair that he wasn't lying about. Like
Well,
all
they
cars.
can't be too pissed off because your prime
invited him.
minister of England
Yeah.
was over here saying how wonderful he is, and that they're going to try and do the same thing there. So
Well,
And he also invited him to, Charles invited him for a state dinner.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is,
Yeah, but that's just politics.
but there is things that are unfair that have been from the not necessarily
it's
you guys,
slanted
but from
against
the
the
EU.
U.S. Yeah.
No, but like the EU, our cars have 100% tariffs going into the EU. We barely had, I think, what was it, like a 2 or 4% tariff on their vehicles coming in here?
Yep.
So to me, that is not fair. Like that's completely just that's
No.
completely unfair.
You should
No.
see the prices of second-hand American cars over here. Some of them are dearer than new European cars.
And that's because of the high import tariffs and fees that you guys charge us to bring vehicles in.
Well, no, it's mostly because they're American cars.
Well, I mean, that could be it too, but I know in the EU, the price of an American vehicle new
Yeah,
is
to import
astronomical.
anything from the US into your country, they charge a big tax.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh yeah, you can
it's
buy stuff over in America a damn sight cheaper than you can over here.
and
Yeah,
In fact,
I think it's
you could probably actually buy it in America and ship it and pay the import duties to here and still not have spent as much as buying a new one here.
and
right.
see, at the end of the day, I don't think it's bad for us, and it's not bad for you guys because it gives you guys more of options of stuff to buy. It will be cheaper for you to get, as cheap as the stuff you're already buying, and then it
Most
also
American cars are too big for our road systems.
well that doesn't mean they won't design cars for that particular area though. But what I'm saying is
Mind
not
you,
only will that
we've got General Motors, which
but
is Vauxhall and all them lot. We've got Fords.
oh
We've
I
got a
know
lot of American cars, and we've got Teslas over here. There's a Tesla garage just down the road from me.
oh I know that, but I'm saying is it would give you guys that option. It would bring the price down for you guys. It would make our companies more money because they'll be able to ship more stuff over to you guys. At the end of the day, I think it's good for everybody on both
They should
sides.
be more. They should be more worried about the Japanese cars than they are about European ones.
Honestly, I should be more worried about fucking Chinese vehicles.
No,
Remember when the Chinese,
Chinese vehicles are crap. They're just
but you,
copies of badly made copies of European and Japanese cars.
but that's the thing though, is remember when they were trying to open that plant in Mexico because they wanted to flood the US market with a bunch of cheap ass Chinese vehicles?
Yeah,
And then when Trump threatened the tariffs right before he became president, China scrapped the deal because it wasn't going to be make them any money. He was like, I'll put 100% tariffs on those cars and I'll go even higher if I have to, because he didn't want our economy getting flooded with a bunch of because I mean, you guys know, we know those vehicles are garbage.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you remember the issue that Australia had a few years ago when they flooded Australia with a bunch of EV vehicles and they were all catching on fire, shocking people and killing them and shit because they didn't have the basic safety features built into them like Tesla and other people do. I mean, Australia had a bad problem with their cars a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Australia's still selling them or not, but I remember watching a story on that.
Australia don't have that many car plants anymore. They've stopped making Holden and Ford and GM.
Well,
They've got
most of those went to Canada and
everything.
Mexico.
Nearly all cars in Australia now are imports.
Well, most of the U.S. car manufacturing went to Mexico or Canada. You can actually tell by your VIN number on some vehicles whether it was made in Mexico or Canada.
Well, the Volkswagen Beetle went to Mexico, and the microbus.
That's just like GE produces a lot of electrical, like industrial electrical stuff down in Mexico,
What y'all doing?
like big like big breaker boxes and stuff and different things like that for like industrial warehouses and stuff. Because when that co-manager a few years back when Irma came through,
What's this right here?
and 2 days before the storm hit, he went in the electrical room and started flipping fucking switches, didn't know what he was doing, and fried our electrical box. That bitch was on back order for 2 months from Mexico because that's the only place that made it. And we had a 2 month back order. So our store had to run off of a big ass, like, tractor trailer generator for 2 months, 2 or 3 months. We had to run off of that. Yeah, we lost like $40,000, $40 or $50,000 worth of food products because of that. Because we had to throw out all the freezer shit, all the meats, everything, and all the coolers and everything because it took them like 3 or 4 days to get the generator to us. Because we had to make it through the storm, and then they brought the generator in a couple days after the storm hit. And so by that time, all that shit was ruined, We had to throw it all in the trash. They had 3 or 4 big ass dumpsters that they brought in to the back of Walmart, and we had to just cart after cart of food out there, loading these dumpsters up.
Uh-huh.
And so surprisingly, that fucking co-manager didn't get fired. I don't know how the fuck he kept his job, but there's a power, like a couple breaker boxes, like main breaker boxes that are in the electrical room, at least at my Walmart there was, and you had to have a manager key, and you would put the key in there and turn it, and then it would allow you to start flipping switches. And he went in there without the store manager's approval, stuck the fucking key in there, turned it, and was trying to test what was running what, and fucking flipped the wrong thing, I guess. I don't know what the fuck he did, but me and another manager were walking down the hallway next to the electrical room. All of a sudden, we see a loud ass pop, or hear a loud ass pop, and a bright ass flash, and he comes out of the room all fucking dazed and shit. And all the power goes out in the store. Don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck he did.
Yeah, this one.
It scared the fuck out of me and the other manager because we weren't expecting. We were just walking down the hallway, minding our own business. All of a sudden, the fucking electrical room was like. But yeah, that cost our store a lot of money because they were bringing in a fuel truck damn near every day to fill that generator. It was a diesel generator, but it was the size of a lorry trailer. Like, it was huge. And they had to fill it up. It was like, I don't know, like $10,000 a day or some shit to fill it. It was something astronomical.
Yeah, a bit like
Walmart was paying.
right.
But now that Walmart, they have now installed 2 big ass natural gas generators that are at the back of the property that are permanent. So they did that after this last hurricane that came through. I guess they got tired of the power going out in their stores, and they finally said, "Oh, maybe we should put a generator on there." So,
Yeah, I guess your gas pipelines are underground, so they should be safe from storms. Not very
well,
safe. Not very safe from earthquakes, but storms they shouldn't have a problem with.
yeah, which the 2 things that I've never lost at least since I've been here in my area, we've never lost water and we never lost natural gas. But power was the one that we always lost in, like, internet and cell phone service. But
Yeah,
all that shit's all above ground, so
yeah.
you know.
Ours isn't, but we can still lose it because it just depends on which part of it.
Right.
Most of our internet and all of our electric cables, except for way out in the countryside, sometimes are underground.
I mean, when we lost power for a week,
All of our cables and our fiber optics are all in underground ducts.
I mean, when we lost power for a week during Irma, the
The only
water
thing
was the
we have,
saving grace.
yeah, the only thing we have overhead really is the telephone lines where it comes up out of the ground, up a phone pole, and then distributes to the street that it's on. But the feed to that telegraph pole is underground.
See, they're starting here. Matter of fact, going down Highway 60 in my area, they're replacing majority of the wooden poles are all gone now. They're replacing them with those big, tall steel poles.
And
They got the big cement footings.
ours are still wooden.
But what they're
In fact,
doing too,
that is only for the older style of phones. People who've got the phones attached to their internet and their cable don't actually use the wires coming from them poles because they have underground feeds straight to the house.
yeah, they're starting to replace all our poles with the big steel ones with the cement footings. They've been doing sections and big sections all over our county. And then they also put guide wires on a lot of the poles too to strengthen them even more. But I've
Yeah.
seen those poles during the hurricanes right outside my house, and those things never budged. I mean, they didn't move at all.
really, because if you see our telegraph poles, our telephone poles, which are wooden ones, they only have one guy wire. So they must only ever expect them to fall in one direction.
Yeah, I've noticed that too with some of the power poles here too,
Now,
where they have guide wires on one side, and it's like, well, what about the other?
Yeah.
You know, you'd want
What
them at
happens if
least
it falls that way?
yeah. But like I said, a lot of ours are starting to replace with those big, huge, tall steel poles, and they sit way above the tree lines too. So
Mm.
I've never seen, at least around here in my area, I've never seen any trees actually reach up to the wires because they're really tall. They're like 20 or like 20 some feet higher than a regular metal or a wooden pole.
Yeah, I think the only thing they use that kind of pole for here is for street lights on busy highways.
Yeah, they started like all the ones in my neighborhood now are all steel, big steel ones. And then now, and because with the wooden poles, they never cemented those in. They would just dig a, however many feet, and they would drop it down in there and just fill the hole in.
Oh no, I was
But
just
now they're doing cement, these huge cement
yeah,
footings on each one.
yeah. I was a cement footed, and the telephone poles are only the same height as the eaves of the houses of a two-story house,
Well, the only reason they did,
or maybe 25 feet tall, something like that.
well, and the one guy when I was doing helping mark a gas line one day, and he was from the electrical company, and they were replacing some of the poles. He said the only reason they never cemented the wooden ones in because obviously over time they get they just wear
Oh,
out over time from the weather and stuff. And then he said in order for us to have to dig up cement every time, he goes, "Oh, dude, that would be a pain in the ass."
ours don't seem to wear out, but they're like painted with a tar, like a bitumen stuff.
Oh, they're coated in like a
Yeah,
tarry type
like
substance.
creosote. Yeah,
Because if you cut through a telephone pole with a fucking chainsaw, you'll dull that blade real quick.
yeah.
Just like railroad ties.
Oh yeah,
Now you cutting through those, man, you'll dull your blade after about 2 or 3 cuts.
yeah. We call railroad ties sleepers.
A lot of people out in California in the desert used them as fences. They would use them as fence posts because the railroad company would come through and like replace like 1,000 of them, and then they
Uh-huh.
would just stack them up in big piles next to railroad tracks, and everybody would show up with their pickup trucks, start loading them up.
Well, if I could only sell them, yeah, they cost a fortune.
They never said. I don't know if it was like exactly legal, but they would never pick them up if you didn't take them. They would just sit there and rot away. So people would go out there and just pick them up, and then they would use them as fence posts, and then they would obviously they would hook all their chain link up to those because
Yeah, I
those would
think.
last a long time in the desert.
I mean, the most things that they get used for here is like flower bed surrounds and edging to the garden more than anything else.
Yeah, Brenda, a lot of our new neighborhoods and stuff are all underground now, but a lot of the older neighborhoods are still above ground. And those are the poles they're replacing with the big steel ones.
I mean, that got me in the Seychelles. They actually ran the water pipes above the ground.
Really?
Yeah, they were just plastic pipes lying on the surface.
Oh, wow.
So basically, your water was always warm.
I guess it made it easy for fixing it, I guess. I guess if you
Yeah,
have the right weather and the right environment, I guess it would just look tacky, I think,
yeah.
but yeah, I could see that being beneficial as far as its ease of fix. It makes it easy fixing them. You don't
Mm.
have to dig the shit up. Because like in the U.S. and like in England and shit, you got water pipes running under fucking sidewalks and roads.
Oh
And
yeah.
if the fucking water main breaks, they got to rip up the whole road and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, that's bad.
Anything between 2.5 and 4 feet deep, depending on the size of them.
And that's even if they know it's leaking for a little while, and then it doesn't create a big ass sinkhole, take out half a fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, that has been known.
That's one thing that
Well,
scares
not
me
half
about
a day,
Florida.
but a double-decker bus went down one in the centre of Manchester once.
That's what scares me about Florida is we have a lot of natural sinkholes. So you don't know if you're sitting on top of one or not.
Mm.
And there's been quite a few neighborhoods and like houses where people were just sleeping. All of a sudden, their whole house got swallowed up by a fucking sinkhole and they never found them. Because a lot of times, if you go down, if somebody gets, sucked into a big, massive sinkhole, they won't send people down to try to recover the body because it's too dangerous. So you're pretty much gonna be your grave for eternity.
Yeah.
We had a big one that opened up in our town in front of the Publix grocery store, swallowed half their fucking parking lot. But thank God it was in the middle of the night when it opened up, because if it would have been in the middle of the day, that could have been really bad.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, it opened up in the middle of the night, and then when the employees got there in the morning, fucking half the parking lot was gone. Luckily, no cars or anything were parked in the parking lot at the time when it happened.
Somebody's nicked my parking space. No, I mean, really, nicked my parking space.
Right. Well, that's the thing too, is like their parking spots only go about 20 spots back to the back of the parking lot. And that's a pretty busy little complex because there's a UPS store, there's a liquor store, there's Publix, and there's a couple clothing stores in there. So that parking lot's always jam packed during the day. So that could have been really bad. That could have been 20, 30 cars gone, possibly people in the vehicles,
But our Tesco car park takes about 300 cars.
But that's the thing, is I don't know how many times I parked in that parking lot right where it happened too.
Yeah.
And it took them probably 6 months to get it filled in. It took them a long time because they had to bring in a shit ton of dirt and fill it in and pack it down in there and all that. Yeah, it took them a long time. It took them like 6 months to get it filled in and repaved over and everything. Because then they had to go around and they went around and like, what do you call it? Where they can see in the ground or whatever with the radar or whatever it is, the ground penetrating radar.
Yeah.
They went and they had to do a whole big area around that area to make sure there was nothing else. So yeah, it took them a little while.
Well, you know what's exciting, Joe?
What?
They're calling for snow and ice overnight.
What does that mean?
Time to go
Snow and
fly.
ice. What,
Yeah.
I was hoping for 50-degree weather,
Yeah.
Well, there was supposed to be a heat wave coming through this week over the whole United States.
It
Sometime
came
this
and went
next week.
because we had a couple of days.
Yeah,
Didn't I
one
tell you,
day.
Joe, it was like 45 or 50 for a couple of days?
Yeah, it's a bit like our
Right.
summer. It lasts 1, maybe 2 days. What the hell are we at the moment? Oh, wonderful. 2 degrees centigrade. So about 35.
Oh yeah, Edward, I saw the video of that. Yeah. Fucking cars were getting crushed by that ice. Fucking all them car alarms were going off and shit. Yeah, I saw the video from that. That was pretty wild.
Well, I got my first order for a poster. 19 to go.
Oh, you did? You got an
No.
order?
Oh. Yeah, they got until next Saturday to get them for $65. Sunday, it's $90. I mean $80
For a
because they
poster?
got to pay. Yeah, for it's a 3 foot by
Oh,
4 foot vinyl
it's a-
poster.
Tell them the size of it.
3 foot by 4 foot vinyl.
Does it come in like
$65.
does it come in at least come in a little cheapy frame or anything?
Tube.
No, they
it's
put them
you.
on the fences outside of the school.
Oh, it's like
They
a
got-
vinyl poster?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's vinyl for the fence, so that they got all
Ah,
their
okay.
seniors up.
Okay, that makes sense why they're so expensive then. I thought it was just a paper poster. I was like, fuck, dude, you're raping them.
No, it's real. It's a good
You see
poster.
what?
I was like, that
The
better
But,
come in a
the
nice little
parent,
frame for that price.
the parents buy a
But-
poster and don't keep it at home. They put it on the school fence.
Well, they put it on the fence. When the season's over, they take them home.
Good God.
But they want all
Yeah,
their
see.
seniors out there, that.
Yeah, see, I thought you were talking about just a fucking paper poster. I was like, I bet you better come in a nice, at least a cheapy little frame for that price.
3 foot by 4 foot. The thing is, it's 65, and they charge me a $15 setup fee if I order one. If I order two, it's still the same $15, but then the two of them cost me a little bit different. So the more I order, the cheaper I get them. You see what I
See,
mean?
he's making bank, Mark. Tell him I'll do $3 stick figure drawings for
Yeah.
him.
Now I am making bank on these.
Shit, buy one, get
Because-
two free.
Yeah, have you not offered the parents 3D printed statuettes yet?
No,
He might
I'm
need a print
making-
farm for that.
I'm making roughly about $48, about $38 on a poster.
Joe would need a fucking print farm to do that. He'd need at least 5 or 6 printers going all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I make about $38 a poster if I sell one. It'll be where I'll probably make $40 a poster easy. And I got 20 of them out there, so let's go.
what are you using the spare bedroom for now?
Me?
Yeah,
It's my
dogs.
storage unit.
I was gonna say you should turn that into a little place to put your 3D printer and your drones and all that
I
stuff.
ought to
you
make it
know.
an office, that's what I ought to do.
Well, is
But
it
I don't
bigger
wanna
than
move-
the area you're
I'm
in
not moving
now?
all this shit. Well, no, I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't want to move it because it's too
Well,
much
that's
shit
what
to
I'm
move.
that's what I'm saying. Take all the shit that doesn't need to be on your desk, like your printer, your drones, and set up a nice little man cave in there. And just leave
Yeah, I
your
could
computer and
set all
everything out
that in
there.
there.
Yeah.
Because right now I've got a lot of the stuff was put away, boxed up, but it's got the one bed in there, and it's got all of the stuff just kind of against the wall on one side, and the sewing machine set up. Let's set up the sewing machine in there because I was sewing some stuff, and it's easy to keep it set up and left it right there. When I got to sew, when I got to put a patch on it, so I just go in and do it.
So I said you could
Yeah,
set
I
up
sew,
like
Justin.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could have your sewing machine, your printer, all your extracurricular stuff in there, and then just you could get rid of all the give yourself a little bit more room and space, open up that area a little bit that you're in now.
Yeah, I'm starting to collect stuff on my desk. I got to get off.
Yeah, all them fucking figurines and shit you keep printing.
Well, that's over there. That's away from me. That's good. I could deal with it there.
You
But right
printed
now,
one
I've got
fucking-
all in front of me. I got all the stuff from Valentine's Day that I can't bring to my daughter or my granddaughter because they got the flu and I ain't going nowhere mine. I'm not going anywhere by them.
Technically, you could offer some 3D print stuff if it was small, like the poker chips with their numbers on it or something like that. Something that would be easy to
Yeah.
do.
Well, I even took the signs off of the corrugated plastic signs off of their site this year because they didn't order any last year. And I'm actually going to stop. I don't make enough. I make a little bit of money on them, and it's not any different than making them. It's easy to put together. The problem is delivering them to people.
Those are the
Because-
ones that people put out in their front yards, like the little
Yeah,
yeah.
I make about $20 a piece on them.
Those are
You
big
know, it's-
around here, man. You see them all over the place.
Well, yeah, Mandeville bought like 30 of them. I made about 600 last year just on football, so I'll probably keep them for football.
You know what's funny is like a lot of people have like the Blue Devil signs around the city and stuff for the
Right.
the Winter Haven High School. But then the churches are like big supporters of the schools, but theirs will say Big Blue because they don't want to put Blue Devils out in front of the churches. So they'll put Big Blue on their signs.
Made some more of my little coins like that. I made them in green, purple, and gold, Mardi Gras colors. And on the back, I got my sticker. So I
See,
made a
that's-
dozen of those the other night.
That's actually something I think parents would buy right there just to hand out to their friends and family.
Yeah, I'm thinking about sending some of these down to Florida with Johnny.
Yeah, why not? Put them on the sticker table with all the stickers. People will take them.
Yeah, I'm sending them. I'm gonna give them something to take down, and I've got a box of stuff that I don't fly with anymore, like the landing gear for the Mini 3 Pro. I don't use that. You know, so I'm gonna give them stuff to just put. They can have a grab table, and if anybody wants something, take it. You know. But I got stuff for my granddaughter for Valentine's Day sitting right here. I got the thing for TJ. You saw that?
Yeah. Statue, yeah. It just wouldn't do his beard. Maybe you could like print out like a goatee and put it on there. Stick it on
Yeah,
there.
I
with some
thought about
super glue.
that. Yeah, I thought about that. Sticking one
'Cause
on there.
it does look like him, but then it doesn't because there's no facial hair, and TJ's always had facial hair.
Yeah, I know.
So
And I can't get it to pick up the facial hair. Stop. I found the one with the most facial hair, and it wouldn't pick it up.
yeah, it's got to be something with this software. Unless you could get him to take a selfie of himself straight on, real close of his face. That
Well,
might
they
be
had
reason.
one. They had one like that on a site, and I used the one with the closest picture. Didn't work.
Huh. It must be something with facial hair then. Maybe it just doesn't recognize it.
I think it's designed just to transpose what it sees as the photograph on a set face.
Right. It probably does some like AI shit and removes
Yeah.
the facial hair or anything like that that you might be you have on your face.
It probably doesn't do the eyebrows either.
I don't know. Did it do the eyebrows? Yeah.
It's got an indentation. You can see a little bit right here.
Huh.
You can see a little bit right here.
Mm.
That's weird.
It's kind of smooth.
I can take a little razor blade and carve in some eyebrows.
Bit of an airbrush.
I might have to bring Tino to the vet. Something going on with him. He's got something going on with his eyelid on both eyes.
Mm.
It's like he's getting like a little sore on him. It actually looks like it just could be like residue, you know, like sleep,
Like
when
sleep.
I fool with it, it's kind of hard. But then when you move it, it kind of bleeds a little.
All right. Because my cat, sometimes in the morning, it gets stuff around its eye, a bit like, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you've got sleepy dust, which is more like a big bloody crystal in the corner of your eye.
Yeah, it's just shit that collects in your eyes throughout the day, and your
Yeah, this is on the top of
eyes
his
filter
eyelid,
it out
the
while
very
you sleep.
top.
Yeah.
It might be a
You know,
sty or something.
well, it could be that he's scratching it too, because you got that one Duclaw.
It's
and he's
possible he could
using
have an eye infection, which is causing him to scratch it.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets up in the morning and he cleans his eyes. And I think maybe he's scratching it, you know?
Well, it could be.
Mm.
Could be something he did, and then he keeps messing with it,
Yeah.
and it's just not healing
And
fast
it's
enough.
so close to his eye, I don't know what I could put on there, you know?
Antibacterial cream, maybe antibiotic cream.
Yeah, I thought about putting just like a little dab right there. But to keep it
Yeah.
off his eye, you know? I mean, he's got a little
His
thin eyelid, you know?
antibiotic cream shouldn't hurt him. Though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just go if you're worried, take him in. I mean, listen to yourself. You know, you don't want to be like 2 weeks later and be like, oh, you know, I should have took them
Well,
when
he's gotta
that
go in,
bought.
he's gotta go in about a week anyway.
Like
But
I
it's
say, always
He-
listen to your instincts.
his eyes aren't shutting though, are they? He can
Well,
still
no,
open.
but, well, he's not having an issue with the eyes, it's just every once in a while I see like a little buildup or something, you know? Like I
Yeah.
just touched it, it was hard. It's almost like it's like you're scratching it and it's scabbing up a little.
Yeah.
Put a cone on them for about a week.
I got
See
one.
if it heals up.
Yeah, I got one. I could put it on.
But like I said
Phone of
too,
shame.
if you're having any doubts, just listen to your instincts. If you're worried, and take them in.
Well, I got an instinct right now. Paul's doing something I don't think he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I know, I'm working on my, bills for the month, cause it's the end of the month.
He's trying to figure out how to buy a new drone.
No, I'm just checking my finances, that's all I'm doing.
Well, what you got? You still got the Air 2S, right?
Yep,
Uh,
I got the One Air 2S and I have the Flip.
if I didn't have cash on me, I couldn't go buy anything right now if I wanted to, because all my cards are locked for 24 hours. Because I had to pull, I hit the limit on all my cards today, pull money off, so I could go get that
Wow.
card. Because I had it spread across a few cards, and I hit the limit on all of them. I actually had to call PayPal and have them raise my daily limit so I could pull extra off. Yeah, my cards are not having any more of my shit today. They're done with me.
It's a bloody nuisance this weekend. I should
I-
get I should get paid on the 1st, which is Saturday. So I don't get paid until Monday.
Oh, usually over here, if that's the case, usually you'll get paid Friday.
Yeah, they used to do that, and then they decided that they'd make more money out of the interest if they didn't pay you till afterwards.
Oh, that's bullshit. Especially if it's like a disability payment or something like that. That should be
No,
sent
it's
to
my
you.
works pension.
Yeah, they're trying to make that interest. Yeah.
It's on the 1st of every month.
Yeah, because like that's what they do with
No,
my paycheck.
it's the banks that have done that. All direct debits, all payments in. If they happen on a weekend, don't happen till Monday.
Yeah, see if my paycheck falls on a Saturday, Sunday, yeah,
Mm.
I'll get it Friday.
Yeah. When I was working, that's the way it used to be. You used to get it on Friday, and they changed it.
Quit eating your ass.
It's
But
not
yeah,
right because a lot of payments, the direct debits, okay, they don't go out until the same day as I get paid because they will leave them until the Monday as well. But if you've got a monthly card payment, that goes out on the same day. So on the 1st and the 2nd, when I've got no money having gone in, they're still going to take money out for those payments.
right, because that's when you schedule them to come out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. And then if,
On a direct debit, it won't come out until the Monday. If my direct debit is on the 1st, it won't get paid till the 3rd. If
well, that's
like
the thing
weekend,
too.
just
If
the
you're
actual debit cards that they automatically take out.
Well, that's the thing too. If your bank allows you to go negative, and sometimes you might have to pay a fee, at least over here, or
Oh, they just
they
don't. Mind.
or they try to pull it out, and then your shit ends up keeps getting declined for 2 days. You know.
Yeah, mine is set so there's no overdraft.
Oh yeah, dude, banks rake in money on overdraft fees
Yeah.
over here.
If there's no money there, they don't get paid.
That's the way I have
Usually,
I have all my accounts.
there usually is money there. I don't think I've never got that low.
Well,
That
see, but then the problem, if you allow yourself to go negative, then you get into this continuous loop of always being negative and paying fees.
Yeah,
And then a lot of people can't get out of it, especially if they're living paycheck to paycheck, you know?
yeah. I mean, as it stands, I've still got, well, I get paid, it should be on Saturday, but it's going to be on Monday, and I've still got 500 in my account at the moment, so it's not really a problem. And
Like
if it was, there's 11,000 in the other account, so.
if I ever went negative, it had to have been for like an emergency, but I tried to always keep mine where it wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
Because you can get stuck in an infinite loop of paying fees and always be a negative because you're constantly having to borrow.
Yeah. I tell a lie, there isn't 11,000 in it. There's only
Yeah.
6 at home because we've used 5 of that to pay for my mum's funeral.
Yeah, I had to pull. I had a 10,000 on my one card today. I had to move 2,000 to Sarah's, pull it off, and that card hit its limit, and then I pulled 3 off of my card, and it hit its limit. But
Was that just pay for the car?
yeah, but
Yeah.
transferring money doesn't count towards your daily limit. Transfer money to another account, so I was able to transfer
Yeah.
the remaining to Sarah's bank account, not her PayPal, but her bank account.
Yeah.
And then we pulled it out of there. She just went in the bank and pulled it out, and then we took the rest in because they didn't want to swipe our cards because they didn't want to pay the fees because then they'd have to pay a bunch of fees on it.
It's about
So
4%, I think, they charge now for card payments.
Well,
So-
they wanted, they have to pay a credit card fee for swiping a card,
Yeah.
not me. They do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They get charged 4%.
So
Over-
they wanted it. They were willing to do. They were gonna do 3,000 on the card, but they wanted the rest in cash. So we just went and took it all in cash.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's why a lot of our small shops won't take card payments for less than £5.
because that's what we did. My card, they took the 3,000 off by swiping it, and then I hit
Yeah.
my limit. So I transferred 2,000 more over to Sarah's PayPal. That we pulled that off in cash, and then I put the rest of it was another 1,000 over to her bank account, and we had to go pull that out
Mm,
because they wouldn't do any more. They would only do the 3,000 one
Yeah.
on the card, and then they wanted the rest in cash. So I had to do some moving around and doing some swifty shit on my cards today to get it all off. So
mhm.
it's really weird because like Sarah's card had a lot lower limit than mine on the daily spending and everything than my PayPal. But I'm thinking it might have been because my PayPal has direct deposit tied to it and hers doesn't. So maybe they give me more of a spending limit. But
I don't know. I don't bother with a PayPal card. We can get a PayPal credit card, but I don't bother with it.
yeah, over here we can get a debit one, and you can actually get direct deposits and stuff to it for your work. You can use it as a bank account.
I actually got a credit one, and that's the worst one I ever got.
No, you can if you have a regular like if you go on your PayPal account, you can actually order a debit card through them. So if like
Yeah.
parents transfer money to your PayPal, you can just use
Yeah, I
that
get all
card.
mine through Venmo though.
Well, what I'm saying is just for example, you can
Yeah.
take that PayPal card and it's just like your bank card from your bank. You can take it to the
Oh, yeah.
store and swipe it and use it.
I mean,
That-
I can pay. What's it? I can pay by PayPal using my phone, just like contactless, the same as my
Yeah,
debit cards in my phone.
we can do that too, but
Okay.
Yeah.
but you can
No
order a
problem.
physical card if you want it.
Yeah.
But there doesn't have to be any money in it.
Oh, mine doesn't either. They don't
It
charge
just-
me a monthly
It
fee.
just transfers it from my bank account when I do it.
I actually got a $25 credit from PayPal because of my direct deposits and all that. They
Mhm.
gave me a $25 credit since I've been moving a lot of money through PayPal.
Better than a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. $25 shit.
Mm.
Because they sent me a notice saying through the PayPal app, they said since you're doing direct deposit and you're getting your taxes and everything through us, we're gonna give you a $25 credit to your account for you. I said, all right. I'm not gonna argue with you.
I mean, I do that every Christmas with Iceland, which is a frozen food store here. And I, on the card that they use, they say it's like a savings card. Say you put £100 on it in the month or two before Christmas, and we'll add £15 to it for free. So I thought, well, I can use that money all year round, just whenever I go into Iceland buying food. So it's neither here nor there. It's just automatically, I know I've got some money there to pay for whatever I go in for. And it's 15 quid for now. So, do it.
I think I'm gonna pack it in, Paul.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
We'll eat another piece of that pizza
we've
I
gone
bought today.
We've gone right through
It was
Uncle
Friday in
Ray.
Australia, so I made it pizza day.
We've gone right through Uncle Ray. It's Friday here as well. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but I bought it early, so I had to get it. I had to look at Australia and say, okay, it's Australia, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Uncle Ray's finished as well now.
Yeah, he's finished.
Yeah.
Oh, he only goes for an hour anyway.
Yeah. Captain Ray,
This
not
is-
Uncle Ray.
Because he's one of the ones that like is strict though. They do an hour and they
Yeah.
end. They don't go over
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Justin. More.
okay,
But
All right. See y'all.
are you closing it down?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock.
Pack it in, okay, I get it. Justin, take
In
care.
3 hours.
all right, we'll catch you later.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Good night.